Hi, Wanda. How are you doing today?
Good afternoon. I'm doing wonderful. How are you, Dr. Arnold?
Oh, great, great. Yeah, I'm always, all bowled over by all the things that you've accomplished and what you have done. I'm just really great that you are doing things for our veterans and for our women veterans in particular, who many times have been silenced in the past, but now have a strong advocate and voice in what you do. So,
Yeah.
so how can women pursue their dreams and still have time for their families each day, no matter what? Because many times we just push these issues onto women and just sort of walk away, right? And think that they can take care of three different worlds at the same time, right? Their world, the world that we live in, and then also, pursue a way of employment to make sure that they can pay for everything. So what's your advice to them?
Well, Dr. Arnold, you said a really vital thing right there when you mentioned that we're always trying to take care of everybody else. First we have to take care of ourselves. I've learned that if I don't take care of me, I can't take care of anyone else. So I first have to make sure that my health is well. And that means setting up practices and procedures in place that I can eat throughout the day and take breaks and kind of like have time to myself to collect my thoughts and be able to serve others. Because if not, it can just all seem like everything is running together. So I suggest that we set out literally on Sundays and start a plan for ourselves. What do we see our week looking like? What do we want to achieve? And have a planner. And if you can't afford a planner, some good old rule paper will work. Just roll out the days and the times that you feel that you're at your best to be able to get the most work done, the thing that you want to accomplish for that day, and set your aims towards focusing on that period of time to get prepared for that moment so that you can still be active and accomplish your end result. So that means taking action every day towards our goal that will help us achieve what we desire to achieve.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, so what kind of strategies do you suggest to contend with this? What should people really be focusing on? Because it sounds like they need to be more, observant of their own needs and what they need to do to take care of themselves as a caretaker, as a giver, right?
Yeah. So it depends on the individual. If it's a career woman, she wants to make sure that she's progressing. The main thing right now is to look at your particular industry and see where it's headed, and to also be aware of what it will take to get there. Don't be afraid to accept those positions that most people won't take or may look a little out of the ordinary. If you study the position, you can oftentimes see how it maybe mingles with the career that we currently have, and also see how it may be able to fit into the future. Mm-hmm. And if we're able to have a vision of what it is that we are aspiring to be or do, then it makes it a lot easier for us to plan. For the stay-at-home mom or the remote work mom, she wants to make sure that she's literally designing a life that works for her. Design her life the way that it fits for her children to be able to still be homeschooled, for her to be able to still make sure that meals are fixed, but yet again make sure that she takes care of herself. And I equate all of this to having a planner. Having a planner works wonders. It just absolutely works wonders, because we can not only schedule our day, our week, and our months ahead, but we can also manage our time. Time is the most valuable asset that we have, and most of the time we don't look at time as an asset. It's something that we just cannot simply get back, but it's an important piece to the puzzle.
Oh, yes, yeah. Yeah, because that's a critical piece, huh? Yeah, and without having good time management and those kinds of things, we have and there's only so many hours in a day, right? If you burn a candle at both ends, you end up somewhere in the middle, and maybe not in a good spot. So
yeah.
But so what types of career fields are open? That sort of lean more towards having that good life-work balance.
So you want to look at, I just love the idea of project management, and I'm going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. First of all, veterans have a valuable skill that most civilians do not have, because we've managed projects from the beginning of our career until we exited out. So that is the one asset that we have. The thing that it requires for us to really have a clear understanding of it is for us to be able to understand the terminology. So that's the only missing piece that we have that will help us to get where we need to go. The other thing is project management is in every industry. There is not one industry that there is no program manager or a project manager managing the project. Number 3, employers are looking for someone who can help them with their bottom line. Mm-hmm. So if you acquire those skills, you have that knowledge, you understand the terminology, you can work with the team to make sure that things get done, then that means you're more of a leader that they can rely on to work from home. And it opens up a window of opportunity that most people are not familiar with, for one, and 2, don't know how to access.
Yes.
So it's every skill set. It's every skill set in every industry. And that one particular key is project management, because majority of the industries are now, I tell you, by the year 2024, we will really begin. And I'm not sure if it'll take that long, but we will begin to see more of the industry leaning more towards working from home than anything. And as of now, as I mentioned a while back, things will never be the same the way that they were. And it's time to get on board now by looking to see what abilities we have that can convert into positions that support employers to be able to continue their flow, continue working their product and getting the productions out there, and how we can manage that from home by using the skill sets that we have from the military.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And and being at the home environment, I was wondering, I guess you would imagine that it's a different kind of environment from a fiscal viewpoint, right? So economically, and did you advise people to find out more about, how to handle tax situations, the finances in home? Because if you're working from home, I guess it has certain tax implications or something that. But do you advise people to do that just to make sure they're grounded in that?
Yes, I would. I would advise them to look more into how they can get the tax advantage, because now that more people are working from home, there's a greater tax advantage that can be used towards the 2020 taxes. And we mentioned that when we had the Robert McFadden from the McFadden Group tax accounting on a couple of months ago.
Right.
But having that understanding, just do a Google research and actually look at a couple of the articles that we have put out in the month of, I believe it was January and February, that covers how we can have a greater tax deduction from working from home in that level of environment and maximize our opportunity.
Yeah, and every time I look out the window, the world has changed somehow, right? And
Yeah.
What must women do to keep themselves ready for the new workforce? How can they stay, up and be competitive?
Yeah, so again, look at your industry. Look at your industry, see where if you desire to stay in that industry, choose a particular position that you want to begin to explore and work in. Then you want to see where in your company, if there's a possibility to expand in that particular company. If it's not, if they offer any type of training, take every bit of training that the employer offers, whether it be paying for school or if it's to cross-train into someone else's position, because that sets you up for a progressive future. It's always better to be more of an asset than a liability. Employers look at who's giving them the more for their bang. So if we can position ourselves to where we become an asset, a valuable asset, then we'll never be out of employment, because they know that they can count on us, for one, and that we're versatile. And so they're looking, as in anything, when there's a cut, they're starting, the first thing they look at is who's the most vulnerable, who hasn't continued training, who hasn't tried to up-level their game, and learn more about other positions. Sometimes it can get confused on other people thinking that you're trying to take their job. But if that's the case, there's more ways to skin a cat. So we have to look at how can we learn from home in our particular industry, and where is the other valuable training? How can we find training that's going to help us get where we want to go, that we can afford to pay for? And so keep your resume updated. You have to look as a forecast. What's ahead of me? How is the market going? And what are the new positions? And which ones will I be interested in? Will my position be faded out? Yeah. It's a matter of staying on top of the game. And when you do that, then you're more likely to be able to stay in the trend, stay with the flow, instead of being left behind. We have a responsibility to protect our career and our stability, our finances. So we also, again, have that responsibility to make sure that we're looking ahead and not getting so comfortable but where we are.
Yeah, and things are changing, and we're going into maybe a green economy, and now we have a president that seems to be really looking at the infrastructure and rebuilding things. So, what types of career fields are opening up for women to work from home, or for the moms to stay at home and take care of family, but still pursue a career?
Well, you always have that basic network marketing, but that's not it. Think about media, and the training of media. We train under media for writing, storytelling, because that's going to be the next thing. When everybody is online, they will need marketers, they will need storytellers. You need to know how to tell stories with video. You need to know how to tell stories writing. You need to know how to tell stories when you're doing podcasts or that production. So those are the type of things that we train with in the SheVet media area. So those are, everyone will need those digital media training and the project development, so they can look at what is the process of the development and how am I contacting, how's the employer will be looking for people to manage their programs.
Okay.
Events that will be taking place will need to be managed. So become an event planner. Become someone who knows how to edit or do production behind the scene or manage those projects.
Okay, we have
great for contracting as well.
Okay. We have 1 minute to go, but I wanted you to say that there are 5 things to do for Mother's Day to celebrate yourself or mom, and then you can give us your website too, where people can go to get this valuable information. But what are the five top things they can do?
So the 5 top things I would say would be make a playlist so that when you have downtime, you can relax. Create bonding moments with your daughter, like maybe you have a movie at home or walking in the park with your mom or your daughter. Maybe have a virtual brunch with some girlfriends or siblings and your parents if they're your mom, if she's far away. And you can also conduct a Mother's Day interview. Use your phone, use Zoom, and capture the moments and the information of your family's legacy by interviewing your mom or being interviewed by your children. Those are some ways that are really some fun things to do in our virtual world right now.